It sounds like a joke, but in 1932, Australia really did go to war, with emus armed soldiers, machine guns, military tactics, and the enemy, a bird that couldn't even fly. This is the unbelievable, yet entirely true story of the Great Emu War. The early 1930s were brutal years. The Great Depression had crippled economies worldwide, and Australia was no exception. Across the vast wheat fields of Western Australia, struggling farmers battled drought, falling prices, and government neglect. Then came another disaster, a feathery one. Every year, after breeding season, tens of thousands of emus migrated inland, searching for food and water. In 1932, they found paradise. Fields full of fresh wheat. To the farmer's horror, these towering 6-foot birds began devouring crops, flattening fences, and trampling everything in their path. And they came in waves, over 20,000 strong. Desperate, the farmers turned to the one force they believed could help the Australian military. Their requests sounded absurd, even then, but the government agreed. And so, in November 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery was deployed with 2 soldiers, Lewis machine guns, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The mission: eliminate the emu threat. The soldiers arrived in Campion, Western Australia. They expected an easy job, a few days of shooting and victory, but the emus had other plans. When the first ambush began, the birds scattered in every direction. Their speed, up to 50 kilometers per hour, made them impossible targets. Meredith's men fired hundreds of rounds. Only a handful of emus fell. 10 drowned, their guns jammed. The birds vanished into the bush. It was chaos, and the emus were winning. Determined to regain control, Meredith regrouped. This time, he mounted his machine gun on a truck, hoping to chase down the enemy. It was a disaster. The truck couldn't handle the rough terrain. The gunner couldn't aim properly while bouncing along. And the emus, they simply split into smaller groups, outmaneuvering the soldiers at every turn. Meredith later wrote, "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world." By mid-November, the results were humiliating. Thousands of rounds fired. Barely a dozen confirmed kills. The government ordered a retreat. When news reached the public, the press had a field day. Headlines mocked the army's failure. Emus defeat military. Australia loses war against birds. The war became a global joke, a symbol of bureaucratic absurdity. Farmers were furious. The military was embarrassed. And the emus, they continued eating wheat, completely unharmed. By December 1932, the government officially ended the operation. Australia had lost 2 emus. Eventually, the government introduced bounties instead of bullets. Farmers were paid for every emu they killed, which proved far more effective. But the legend of the Emu War lived on. The Great Emu War wasn't just a bizarre story. It was a symbol of human overconfidence, a reminder that nature doesn't always yield to force, that even the most advanced weapons can't solve every problem. Today, it remains one of history's strangest military chapters, a reminder that sometimes the birds win. Nearly a century later, the emus still roam free across Australia, a living monument to a war they never knew they won.